Super Mario 60. There. You know, I would love it if Twitch just like updated stream information when I wanted it to, just with one button press, and I didn't have to do it twice. But that's not the world we live in now, is it? We live in a world where the 3D All-Stars collection exists. And that's how I end up playing Mario 64 on this fucking stream. And I am ready. Or am I? With a face like that, Mario, I don't know if either of us are ready.
It's me, Mario. Hello.
You. Yes, yes, just look at the stars so we can get that over with, so I can mutilate you. Okay. I swear you could have moved the eyebrows before. I don't know what happened to that. Alright. We'll move the nose here. No eyes for us. Eyes wide shut. We're gonna turn this into one of the masks from that movie. The most sexual energy Mario's ever been shown with. You won't even know it's him. Oh, that's a good one. Yep. I'll keep that. This is wrong. Oh, you can kind of see the eye. No, come on, man. Stay as a flesh puppet. He's angry. He's definitely angry. Like, he doesn't seem like he's in pain. He's just pissed. At me. Mm-hmm. Alright, on with the game. Alright. I guess you know it's Monday, because I had some weird steps with setting up the stream for 64. Especially because, I guess I'm a little off because my setup is a little in the works right now, with setting up a new monitor and all that. Like, I unplugged my... Because my power cord's in a weird spot, so I always have to plug in and plug out my GameCube whenever I use it for Tactics Advance. Because it kind of goes across the room, so it's a little weird to have. So I just make sure I unplug it every time so I don't trip on it or anything. But like, I unplugged it this time, I completely forgot to actually turn off the console. I know it probably doesn't matter, but, you know, it's better to take the step. Oh, good wind. I knew the wind was there, I knew it would try to blow me up, but no. I guess I was in the death plane. But you know what they say? Planes fly. Mario fly. I couldn't even get the one up for that. I missed it again. No. 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 Thank you. Thank you, lad. Oh! He's just having fun. He's not hurting anyone. Especially himself. Especially myself. I wonder how far I can go up here. Oh, I can go the whole way. Hey, Bomb-On Buddy. Open the cannon for me. Oh, that's the greatest way I've ever done that. I'm so glad I learned this trick. Oh, wow, the inside of that cannon actually looks good. I just noticed that. The up-resin really did some want for that. No, please, I'm just trying to get on the platform. I know you're a ledge I can grab onto. Don't deny me. Alright. I guess I'll take the wind again. We're not doing this twice, friend. Right, this one's just scaling. Yeah. Actually, let me go back real quick. I want to express... Not that far back. I want to express something with the camera movement in this game that kind of puts me off on the movements of this game a little. So, for example, it's kind of weird. So, okay, I'm going to try to move forward. Assuming this guy leaves me alone. So for this, I should just be able to just move forward. But no. The camera moves by itself, and then I have to adjust my angle in order to move along with it. It's not like, you know, the camera stays in place, or I can just, like, move the camera along with it, because, you know, you only have this. It's not free movement. You have to move along with the camera. You can't just, you know, move by yourself. If you notice back in Dire Docks, I had a really big problem with the inside area, where I would keep falling off. I would keep walking off the dock. Does that monkey have a... Nope. Nope, nope, moving away. But I had a big problem with that just because the camera would move Mario and I couldn't, like, do anything about it. So often I would just end up walking off the platform. And it was fine there to an extent just because, you know, I'm just falling into water right next to it. There's no damage being done. It's just, you know, time wasted. And frustration gathered, yes, but, you know. And that's not a problem I ever really had in... That's not a problem I really ever have in any other Mario game. Maybe Galaxy. I don't remember Galaxy being in it, but maybe we'll find it does. But even then, it's not that bad because the control is a lot smoother in Galaxy. It's a lot tighter. Whereas with 64, there's still, like, you know... It's not too bad. You know, it's still fine. But it's just an issue I see. And an issue I see with this version and, like, uprising stuff is that, you know, you can kind of see the lines going on there. I don't think that's a normal thing. Oh, that reminds me. Let me up the volume. Just a little bit of a boon. And if you hear any sort of bass in the background, that is not me. Don't blame me for that. For love of God! That switch goes on for a while. I need something explained to me. Ruin my frustration. Ruin all this frustration. It's just a line I've been thinking about. I heard it from Ed and Eddie. I'm like, and ruin all this frustration? Does that mean, like, I don't know, does he want to, like... Does that phrase mean he's just trying to... You know, let out some frustration by taking it out on something? Bit of a dumb tangent of me. Just trying to keep my mind off of the base. Mario's confused. He doesn't know where he is. He's just trying to get them stars. Mario would look for the Master Emerald if he could. It's just like collecting red coins. Except worse. Actually, no, it's not worse. This is what happens when I drink all my coffee. I start talking nonsense. The caffeine's gone. The warmness is gone. I'm just starting to go into... I'm just starting to get hypothermia. Oh wait, the monkey. Monkey cage. I don't need you. A monkey. Hey, there's another connection to the Mario movie. The monk. The gun that turned someone into a monk. The Devo gun. Or what's it called, the Devo gun? Could they pay the royalties to Devo? I don't know. But they had that gun that would just evolve people. So you could just turn someone into a monkey. I love that scene where it is like the big climax of the movie. They're in the real world. He just uses the Devo gun on someone. He turns into a monkey in like a business suit. And then Bowser he just like starts smiling, points at it and goes, "A monkey!" That movie's so dumb. I love it. Banana. You little shit. No. No, you deserved it. No. No. This... Look. Jokes aren't funny. They seriously hurt people when you don't consider their feelings. And as punishment, you need to, you know, for not considering others, you need to be punished. So come along with me. We're going on an adventure. You're going to learn the true consequences. Fuck. Look how slow this climb is. This is like, I guess, yeah, you know, it's fine for Mario 64. It's the first time they, first time they did something like that. You know, if it's a little slow, it's fine. They never have, you know, the length you have to actually climb onto that stuff is like never anything like that big. But then you consider a game like Crash Wrath of Cortex, where there's some like long distances you have to climb with that same exact speed, if not, I think maybe slower. Oh, I can't imagine that. I'm so glad I've never played Wrath of Cortex. I'm so glad I've only ever played 2 Crash games. Crash Warped, a damn fine platformer, and, Mind Over Mutant. The Wii version. Look, it was a gift. I didn't know better. It was when I was like 8 or 9. Fuck. But I will stand by that I think that game is still decent. It's not a good Crash game. But it's fun enough. But like, it does not touch Warped. What? Ooh, Invisible Wall. Interesting. Crash Warped is a damn fine platformer, though. Oh, no. All I had to do was say... All that. I could have just gotten the star, but all that was just because I wanted to throw the monkey off a mountain. Is that too much to ask? He would have lived. He's a monkey. He's fine. I'll be fast this time. Don't worry. Why? There was another damn wall there. Why? Why was it there? I know this isn't the case with Sunshine, where I know the game is glitchier than it used to be. This is a less glitchy version of the version we got. That's why there's no BLJ. So why is that shit there? I'm killing that monkey. At this point, it's out of spite. Get over here. Come on. No. No. I get the feeling we'll be doing this for a little while. You know, I know I compare this game to Sunshine a lot, but I mean, it is kind of the closest we got to like another 64 type game. Some might say Odyssey. I think Sunshine's a little closer. Maybe Odyssey in spirit, but I think just generally Sunshine in terms of like in the aspects. I don't know. I feel like Sunshine's a little closer to what 64 was. I know I compare it, and yeah, I do compare it a lot. Usually in favor of Sunshine, except for 100 coins because, well, not even. To an extent, not even, but it's weird too because I grew up with both the games. I played the shit out of both of them. And yet, for some reason, I just don't feel as positive about this game. Even though I still say this is a better game than Sunshine. Oh my god. Please. The rabbit was hard enough for me to get. I got him so quickly on the first time. It's just a monkey. It's just a monkey. Good. You know what they say. Long live the king. I can't throw him. What was even the point? Alright, guess I'll just have to go all the way down just to make sure I can actually drop him. I'll take the fall damage if I have to. I have other stars I can get. I don't need you for level closure. Oh, he's still... Let's see. He doesn't even move around, he just stands still. He just decides to take it. Goodbye, you little shit. Caused me enough pain. I don't even think you need the monkey for the cage. I think you might be able to glitch into it. Although, I don't know. Considering how 64 is, I assume that's an option. Did y'all just see that bomb? Rest in peace. Okay. Let's just go ahead. I know a couple other stars I can do. I just wanted to kill that monkey. I just wanted to kill the monkey once. Me too. You haven't caused me any trouble yet, so you'll live for now. Could go ahead and grab that star. I'm gonna go ahead and do the slide instead, which I also can glitch through. There's a lot of unintentional ways you can do this level. Wow, that's a crusty texture. Wait, what? Oh. Alright, I guess I gotta go grab my hat now. That's weird. I thought I could always... Because that's supposed to, like, lead to a slide that you can go to. I didn't realize it wasn't open in the earlier levels. It usually just goes up there. Alright. I mean, I'll have to go to the slide any...
Mamma mia!
I'm sorry, I know the wind caught you, but you fell into the death plane. Die. You would have lived if you had stayed on the stage for 5 more seconds. But we're just gonna kill you. Honestly, when you experience stuff like this, it's harder to blame ROM hacks of Mario 64 for doing that when the main game does it just as much sometimes. Whatever. Going back to Mario Sunshine and 64, I was thinking about how I wanted to, like, sum up my feelings toward the games. Or, like, how I feel with the two games compared to each other, and I think there was... Okay. In order to properly articulate my thoughts about it, I have to talk about 2 other games. Mario games, even. Oh my god, it was just the wrong... It was the wrong... Ah. It was a different area. It was the stone wall next door. Alright, and now I think I can, like, go all the way back, and then... Because at this point, I think I've gone far enough for the slide for the loading zone behind me to actually... Yeah, there we go. I can fall into the slide. I'll have to do the whole slide anyway, normally, because... Oh, bitch. I'll have to do the full slide normally anyway to get 100 coin star. So I don't mind doing a little bit of a glitchy way to do it. I want to show it off. I want to do it right. So we're going to do this again. Okay, but going back to the other games. In order... I need to bring up 2 other games, and those... Oh, shit. No, don't do that. And those other 2 games are Super Mario 3, or Super Mario Bros. 3, and Super Mario World. And there's, there's been, like, long-ass debates over which game is better. Put my hat in the ring, I think Mario World's better, but that's just my thing. I think both games are, like, damn fine 2D platformers. But here's someone, just someone put their hat, or their thought into the whole thing. And it made me kind of think about, the discussion. Because, like, what they thought was, both of them are really good games. Oh, I'm gonna fall off again, aren't I? Nice. But what they like, because these guys like, this guy liked Mario 3 more. And, that's a fine opinion. They can have it if they want. I won't, say no to them. Not gonna agree with them. It's fine to be a little off the mark, but it's fine, 3 is a damn good game. But what they said was, they thought 3 was a more fully realized game, and that and that what it wanted to do was more fleshed out. Or I guess it had more variety. Because, you've got the 8 worlds in Mario 3, you've got all the different, I don't want to say biomes, because it makes me think too much of Minecraft. Even though biome is a real-ass word, you get what I mean. It's got all that, and it's got a bunch of good levels, plenty of detail, and fun, unique mechanics to them that are decently fleshed out. Granted, I don't think everything in Mario 3 is fleshed out perfectly. I think some of the power-ups, even though the game has a lot of power-ups, I feel like they're kind of, not to say underutilized, but I feel like there could have been more done with them. Like, the hammer suit is cool as hell, but you hardly do much with it. Especially because you only get, like, 1 or 2 a playthrough. That's kind of an issue I have with Mario 3 myself, because I love power-ups like that, but it's like, they're so special because you hardly get them. It's like you hardly get a chance to use them too much, unless you use save states. Or cheats. Or you don't use them and you just hoard them for the whole game, like me. And then in comparison to Mario World, although it was mechanically a better game, or mechanically stronger, all that kind of stuff, it does feel like a little more bare bones. And I kind of see what they mean, because there's less environments, there's less power-ups. It's a little more, it's a little more... It's a little more, it knows what it is, and there's less variety. Why was that so easy? Alright, now give me the star, damn it. I guess World, if I could maybe try to describe it, it's more focused on what it's trying to do, but it's also, there's not as much variety into it. And that can be an issue compared to, say, Mario 3. But, and the reason they liked Mario 3 more was because of that variety, and they're like, it's more just generally interesting throughout the game. But what my thing was, and why I like Mario World more, is because both are very quality games. I mean, if one was like clearly better than the other, I would like that one more. But they're both very, very good games. The thing why I like Mario World more, though, is even though it doesn't have as much as a game, even though it doesn't have as much as a game like Mario 3, right, coins, oh boy. These ones are quick, I'm not gonna worry about 100 coin. I think what it does, and, with the mechanics in that game, I think they're more enjoyable to me. Oh, I really just fell on the second mushroom, huh? Like, controlling Mario World feels better to me than it does with Mario 3. If anything, just for the spin jump, because I can get a lot of mileage out of that move. I think the cape is better than the leaf. Even though the cape is broken, if you decide not to actually break the level and just use it as like a slow fall thing or a spin, I think it's way better. Plus, I don't have to mash the damn B button in order to actually fly. Never liked that about Mario 3. Damn it. Talk shit about Mario 3 one time.
Mamma mia!
Plus, even though there are less power-ups, you still have Yoshi, and I feel like that helps not so much as a power-up of Mario, but as an extension of Mario. You know, with the fireballs and the extra flight, the different colors of Yoshi, being an extra jump in those rough circumstances. And there's less, like, location variety and less unique level mechanics and all that. Ah, perspective really fucked me, that one.
Mamma mia!
But it just, to me, Mario World feels better to play. And I feel like that's why I enjoy it more, just because playing it feels better. And the levels, even though I don't think they're as, as strong or varied as Mario 3's, I think are still really good, and they still work really well with the Mario World moveset. And that's what generally pulls me to Mario World more. But I can see why someone would like Mario 3 more. It's just, I think it ultimately comes down to whether you prefer Mario 3 or World, what you like more in a game. And to me, good movement, good control, and all of that is kind of more my speed. So I like Mario World more. And then we bring it to Mario 64 and Sunshine, and that's where I'm trying to go with this. Wait, red coins. Why am I going this way? Because I think... son of a bitch. I think, in this case, Mario 64 is like Mario 3 in that it has more varied levels. I think they do more with what they have, and it feels like properly fleshed out and all that. Whereas with Mario Sunshine, I feel like that's more like World, where I like the movement more. But I mean, it's a little more focused, because it's mostly tropical island stuff. And they do good with that variety. Also appropriate, because both games are about Mario going on vacation. That ended up not working out. And I think, especially with FLUDD, the control is, I think, more fluid, more fast-paced, more fun. Or, well, more fun is more subjective in my case, but... I think because Mario 3 and 64 are more about the levels. But then 64 for me is, and World is more about the movement. So even though... And it's a little different even in this case, because I do think 64 is a better game than Sunshine. Or at least better designed. There's not even a red coin here. Why am I risking getting rocks thrown at me? Whereas in comparison, I think Mario 3 and Mario World are pretty much neck and neck in terms of quality. Whereas 64, I do think, objectively, I would have to put higher up. Personally, Sunshine is quite... It's like, quite a distance away, but I think quality-wise, Sunshine does edge it out. Not by a wide margin, but by a decent margin. And yet, I don't prefer it, and I think that's why.
Here we go!
And that's not even to say I think 64 has... To say it has worse movement, I don't think is accurate, because I know there are people who... there are a fair amount of people who definitely... Breathtaking view from the bridge, which one is that? Oh, right, yeah. Because I know there are a good amount of people who do prefer the movement in 64 to Sunshine. Granted, I think people who say they don't like Sunshine's movement because it's more limited, because it's like you don't have the long jump or anything. I don't really agree with that, especially because I feel like Mario in Sunshine has all the tools he needs to do what he needs to. Like, you can just do like a side flip, dive jump, and get as much distance as you could for a long jump. You just kind of have to get used to the jumping more. Plus, you have Flood. I feel like that's not exactly a completely valid argument for not liking Sunshine's movement in comparison to 64. I think there are, you know, complaints about it, like, you know, being a little too hectic, a little too chaotic. The game around it being glitchier, more frustrating. I understand that, but not so much the limited thing. But, you know, there's people who like how 64 controls, you know, with the long jump and everything, and all the moves he has in this game. It feels like, you know, more of a complete platformer moveset. I just kind of have to jump there, don't I? Yes. Going back. Don't mess with me, monkey. I don't need you right now. This will work out. For sure. I'm throwing the monkey off the cliff. I don't care. He's pissed me off. I know the fire didn't come from him, but he distracted me. He's going down. He's gonna take my hat real quick, but don't worry. Nice try. Oh no, you can't run from me, buddy. No. Oh, he's just gonna keep taking the hat, isn't he? Oh, so we're gonna have to deal with this. Ah. Fine. Because I can't actually throw you off the cliff, you'll live. Because the game said no. Shit. I think if there's one thing that makes me not like 64, I should say more, because I do like this game. It's one of my, you know, as I've said before, childhood favorite. Still a favorite. I mean, it's still really good. I guess one thing that just prevents me from liking this game as much as probably could is, I think, the control in this game. Not that it's bad, but when I compare it to Sunshine, I don't ever have any problems with the control in that game. Maybe I mean, generally any problems I have in Sunshine with my control, it's usually just because I'm being, you know, because I was a little too ambitious with my movement. I was a little out of control. And that still happens in this game, but there's more to it than that, because whereas 64, I mean, in Sunshine, I generally know my limits. In this game, I feel like, I guess I shouldn't say that, but Sunshine, I feel like I always can do what I need to, whereas in Sunshine, I feel limited by some of the more dated parts of the game's control. Or, I'm not sure if dated's the right word. But, I mean, I've noted a number of times in this game where I want to dive or I want to kick in the air, and sometimes, you know, I want to kick, but I dive. I want to dive, but I kick. Or I know I need to do one, but I know I'm not going to be able to do it. There's no different buttons for it. Which, to be fair, it was an N64 game. There weren't too many to work with in terms of basic controls, so I understand. but it's still a problem to me because like I like being able to differentiate between the two. And it feels like sometimes when I jump, it's just kind of up in the air whether or not I'm going to kick or dive, unless I really focus on it, like I did there. Oh, this one was always difficult. And then there's kind of the thing where it's like, sometimes you won't be able to just instantly move to another way. You have to like make a full stop in order to do that. Otherwise, you'll just have to like manually turn around like the full 180-degree turn in place instead of just instant snap. There's a lot more of that in this game than there was in Sunshine. And the long jump is nice, but you have to build up enough speed for it sometimes. I could just be bad with using it. That's also another thing. Like, remember, I'm also not as good at this game as Sunshine. You have to remember that. That's probably another reason I'm not as into it. I thought there would be... Oh, there was wind there. It just didn't appear. Alright.
Mamma mia!
It's not to say I think this game is... The game controls... Or has clunky controls. I wouldn't say that necessarily. I would just think there are kinks to work... For being an early 3D platformer, it's very solid and tight, but it also has kinks that still need to work out. And to an extent, I think some of those were worked out in Sunshine, but also others just were taken out. I think, and people, you know, have issue with that. I remember what I have to do here. Not get thrown by this guy. Oh, but he sent me on my way. Thank you, buddy. Love those guys. And then, you know, if they ever did bring those kind of moves back, it would be for, like, Sunshine. I mean, for Galaxy, where they were mostly made tighter. And really, hardly any of my control issues I have with this game are in Galaxy. So, and I hardly ever have that trouble. Then again, it's also been a while since I played Galaxy, so maybe that'll change my 100%. Sent it. After 64. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to... These are... Remember, these are live reactions. I don't exactly like to completely judge a game just by live reactions. I like to have a good amount of hindsight when I think about how I feel about games. So keep in mind that some of this can change by the time we're finished with this. Dangerous strong gusts, but the wind makes a comfy ride. No, it doesn't. Not if it kills you. Oh, you know what? That's probably why I'm dying. Because even though the wind's catching me, it's giving me whiplash. How can you get whiplash? You don't have a neck. I meant ass whiplash. Fuck! That's like that's the worst kind of shot, where you technically land on it, but you're going too fast and you just, Oh well, I'll just have to aim a little higher next time. I can also just like jump from a high spot and get it, but it's not as fun. Although when I do say things will probably change in hindsight, don't think, shit. Don't think that'll mean I'll ever think I like 64 more in Sunshine. That's never gonna happen. Ever. I'm gonna die again. Game over.
Game over.
I'm just long jumping. I know it won't work, but I still do it. Oh well. I guess the only way I could consider 64... Because, I mean, there are problems with it being dated, but you can also make the excuse that it's from 1996 and it was one of the first of its kind. Not the first, but one of. I'll tell that, right? And I think that can be... that can excuse it somewhat in certain regards, but also I feel like judging something based on when it came out, and then in comparison to things that released today, I don't think that's entirely an unfair thing to do. I think it's something to consider in both ways, but also I don't think we should say, oh, well, this game was better this game was amazing at the time compared to this game, which was good at the time, but not, like, groundbreaking. So this game is better. I don't really agree with that kind of mindset, because it's like, yeah, it was better when it released than this game that just released at the time. Like, if a 3D platformer came out now and it was like a 9 out of 10, or like an 8 out of 10, I know numbered review scores are kind of iffy, but let's just talk theoretically here. Compared to this game, which got, like, you know, bomb reviews and all that, or, you know, high reviews, like, say 9 out of 10. And it's like, yeah, it did review better at the time, and sure, it did come out at a time where you couldn't do as much. And I can respect that in a, I'm going the same damn way. And I can respect that from a design point, because it's, you know, more interesting.
Mamma mia.
Because it's like, you know, with the limitations they had to work around, they're still able to make a solid-ass product like this. But also, I don't feel like that should leverage it above games that are technically better, you know, because, but, like, aren't so much as praised because they weren't as impressive when they came out as a game like 64. I don't like viewing games like that, you know. Well, I mean, I think it's interesting to view games like that. But also, I think it's important to just look at games as they are, not being like, oh, well, it came out then, so it's fine, it has these flaws. But, like, the flaws are still there. So I feel like you should also be able to think about the games with all the flaws, disregarding age. Nice.
Here we go.
Oh, I still have 100 coins to do. Damn it. It is kind of weird thinking about games like that, too, because, like,
Let's go.
there were some games that released back in the day, like, you know, PS1 and 64 era, that didn't really get good reviews compared to other games at the time, because it was just like, this isn't impressive, it's just another game. And yet, you look at games like that nowadays, and it's like, they're kind of it's kind of like, it's weird, because even though they weren't technically advanced, some of those games that weren't technically advanced and didn't review so well at the time aged better than games that would get like 9 out of 10s or 8 out of 10s and stuff from review publications. I think hindsight brings a good level of discussion to games. And I think it's important to think about how games are in the moment, but then also the fucking bomb up. It fell again. Why are you like this, my man? Come on. You don't have to do it. Oh, I'm not gonna get coins from these guys. Alright. That's why whenever I play a game, I always try to think of when it came out, or if it's new, how I think it might hold up later, how it could hold up. And that's why I have a hard time sometimes... Oh, shit. That's why sometimes I have a hard time, like, giving definitive thoughts in games, because I feel like that can be really hard to do, especially with certain games. Like, I still, like, 3 years later, 3.5 years later, I still don't feel like I have a good concrete opinion on Breath of the Wild. I love that game. It's one of, I mean, it is one of my favorite Zeldas. I don't think it'll ever, like, I think it'll stay in, like, top 5 or whatever. Top 3. Maybe not top 3, but top 5 for, like, a good long while. But also, I had to think because, I mean, I thought Skyward Sword was, like, a top 5 when it came out. And I still love Skyward Sword, but, you know, it's not top 5 Zelda material for me anymore. But, I mean, because it's even trickier with a game like Breath of the Wild. Because I think Skyward Sword is a bit more of a replayable game than Breath of the Wild. Because the thing is, that first playthrough I had with Breath of the Wild was one of the greatest memories. It was probably one of the greatest experiences I've ever had in any video game. It was euphoric. But I don't think I'll ever get that again. Because part of the experience of that game was just exploring it and figuring out and looking for everything. Just, you know, going on an adventure in, like, this new land I've never been in and finding everything out. And I already know so much about that area, about the Hyrule in that game. So it's like, if I replayed it, sure, I could replay it again. Why would I do that? And, oh, son of a bitch. No. Mario. Mario? Mario? Are you good? I have to do something. I have to free him. Oh! What the hell is this? I can, like, tilt him on an axis. What? Mario 64, ladies and gentlemen. Love this game. Oh, there we go. Alright. That was fun. And that's, you know, that's something I'm looking forward to for Breath of the Wild 2, is, like, being able to go into... I don't even know... I kind of have an idea that they might actually be, like, I don't know what they're going to do with Breath of the Wild 2. Maybe they'll do something, like, underground instead? I have no idea what that game is going to be, but I'm excited. But even then, it's like... Is it really going to have the same impact as the first game? But also, I'll be able to get that, you know, that first-time experience. That first-time experience in some fashion. But it's, you know, it's still a sequel. It's not... You know, I'll generally know most of the mechanics and all that. It's not the same. But I mean, you know, granted, in terms of, like, the land and... Oh, damn it. Oh. Nice. Thought you could fool me, huh? Oh, I love that sound it makes. It's a bit morbid. I love the sound it makes when it dies. Calm down, calm down. Did I get coins from you guys? I didn't. How did I forget Goombas? And that's, I guess, that's the thing I kind of think about with Breath of the Wild is... I absolutely loved it on my first playthrough, but I don't know if I would ever love it in the same way again, just because... Part of the magic of that first playthrough was learning everything, and I'm never really gonna get that again, unless I wait like 20 years or something just to actually play it again. I'm thinking about replaying it within a couple years. Or maybe, you know, I could actually find all the damn shrines in my regular account, or my regular file, because I've got like 12 left. I just cannot for the life of me find them. And I'm too stubborn to use a guide. I just want your coins, Shy Guy. I would love to be able to move the camera in a way that I could actually see this Shy Guy, but I guess not. It's 3 coins, or 2 coins I could take, and I'll take everything I can get. I guess what I'm getting at is, when my only experience with Breath of the Wild was that first playthrough, really, or playing it. I haven't tried hard mode or anything, I will have to, but, you know, that's my only experience with the game, and that experience was amazing. But I also have to think, you know, that's the only time I'll ever have an experience with the game that was that good. Subsequent playthroughs might end up feeling, you know, probably still good, but not as good, so how do I... So it's like, when I'm thinking about the game, I'll have to take that into consideration, because there's the first playthrough and then there's second playthroughs. I think that's another thing that should, you know, you should think about too, like replay value. Like, I think some games that are not so good the first time around are better on the second. I think that's worth looking at. I know some people think that's bad game design, but I mean, if you're gonna replay a game, you know, it'd be nice to be able to enjoy it the second time. Because the first playthrough is vital, but I think replaying it can be just as important. Like, not the greatest example, but take a game like Sonic Lost World, where I noticed a number of people who play that game are like, I liked it better the second time I played it. Because at that point they had learned more of the mechanics of the game, because the game that's a game that doesn't exactly teach you the best ways to play it, because it's Sonic Lost World. But I think that is, you know, worth considering. I think most Sonic games, honestly, I think that's the problem with Sonic games, is that most of them are better the second time around, because you have more an idea of the layouts of levels and better ways to go fast. If anything, I think you kind of need to have a second playthrough for most of those games to get the full experience out of them. At least a second playthrough. Whereas, you know, you look at a game like Mario and... I'll make sure I get all the coins here. You look at, say, Mario... Oh. You look at a game like, you know, most Mario games and... Ah, shit. Okay. Most Mario games, I feel like, are good on the first playthrough, but then... Oh, no. Oh, no. I like how it took me into the side animation where I can't get out of it just because I grabbed the star. Thanks, game! I feel like Mario games are just generally good for both the main game and then for replaying it. It's a lot of fun to be had with replaying most of these games. Or at least a good chunk of them. I don't, like, you know, 64 and Sunshine I think are really good examples of that. Galaxy maybe, we'll see. But then, you know, you take a game like 3D World. I love 3D World. I had a really good time playing that game for the first time. But I haven't replayed it since, so I don't know how well it would hold up. I'm really gonna do Tiny Huge Island next, huh? Nope. I don't know if I have enough time for that world. Technically, I can go as long as I want today, but whatever. I'll do a shorter area. There we go. Snow level. Nice wall you got here. Snowman's Land. Fun stuff. I don't need to duplicate you. I could, but I won't. Oh, well, hang on a minute. That snowman was looking kind of funky. There. Oh, nope. I saw it. I feel like his mouth kind of clips, his head kind of clips behind his body for a little bit. But the camera doesn't want to stay still for me. Big Head. This is Big Head. What are you doing here? Oh, I'm good. I guess the moral of what I was talking about earlier was, when you're thinking about the quality of a game, and some people, I think some people even judge a game too quickly just playing it on itself. Like, they'll be in the middle of the game and they're like, I don't know, I'm not feeling it. Like, maybe, especially if it's like a story game, it's like, maybe there's a story twist. But like, I don't know, it hasn't been impressing me. I think there's some, you know, I mean, if the game is long and you don't want to keep playing it because the game hasn't ramped up or anything or hasn't surprised you, I think that's fair. But also, it's like you kind of have to consider, you know, maybe I can't fully judge the game because I beat it, but I can judge the game to a point where it's like, I didn't want to play it anymore. Because I didn't like the game up to that point. Maybe the rest of the game's good, I don't know. Thanks, Penguin. Why did... Yeah. Oh, well. And the moral, I think what I'm trying to say is, I think it's important to look at games in a number of ways, not just at face value. Think about games as they are now, as they could be with future games in their series, or in relation to just general other games, as is on its own. I think seeing a game in a number of ways like that is really important, rather than just looking at the game or as the game by like better means. Not sure I'm phrasing all this the best way, but you know. I guess I'm gonna keep talking about game design stuff. I say as not a game designer myself, so I am very, you know. Oh yes, move backwards. Yes. Thanks, Penguin. You bitch. I'm very qualified to talk about this, as you can see. What should I talk about next? I do want to think of some. There is one thing I'm thinking of, but I can't really get a good way to start talking about it. I guess if there's one thing I'm bad at, it's starting things. Huh. Oh wait, okay. But if there's one thing I know, it's how to start its fights. Get over here. I guess because this point kind of goes back to looking at games in different ways. I think another thing to think about with games is that simplicity, a game being simple, or not as developed as other games that are similar to it. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, and I think that can be, in certain circumstances, a good thing, or a positive of it. Just being simple. And I mean, you know, not in the case of like where other things are overly complicated to the point of being, you know, bad because it's like just generally hard to understand. I think the best thing about Deep Freeze. Oh, Okay. I think the thing about some games being simple is that they become, you know, more welcoming to people, and then more people are able to play them. Because here's my thing. I'm going to talk about Zelda again, because I love Zelda. Ocarina of Time is a game I love, and I have nostalgic memories for. And honestly, replaying Ocarina for my channel last year, yes, I did beat the game, by the way. You can't tell me otherwise. Beating Ocarina of Time recently, especially compared to how I'm playing this game, I'm realizing maybe I just like Zelda more, but yeah, Ocarina of Time, even though I definitely had issues with that game, with certain things that have, you know, are products of it being on the N64. Wait, we're all from the Freezing Pond. What? Oh, right, yeah, I get that. But I had a lot more fun with revisiting Ocarina of Time than I am with this game. It was a lot cozier, a lot more... Yeah, I guess it was a lot cozier. That guy fell. That Spindrift fell over there, I saw that. I was just generally enjoying my time more with Ocarina of Time, which is weird, because it's not exactly one of my favorite Zelda games. I mean, it is, but, like, compared to others, like, you know, I'm more of a Wind Waker fan, or a Majora fan, or even Breath of the Wild. Even Twilight Princess I like more. By a small margin, Twilight Princess, but I do. Even, to an extent, I think maybe Link Between Worlds, or, hell, even Spirit Tracks. But I'm also one of the weird people who really like Spirit Tracks. That's not Ocarina's fault. Red coins, okay. Yeah. And, you know, because the thing about Ocarina is, I think there are a number of things in that game that are definitely good and definitely solid, but I feel like there are most of what is done in Ocarina of Time, I feel like, is done better in other games in the series. And generally, what I can get in Ocarina, I can get out of other Zelda games in a better regard. But Ocarina of Time is still a very solid game. I still love playing it, as I've found out. Like, the last time I played Ocarina of Time, it was a joy. It was a great time. You would never know, because, well, never mind that. Oh, I guess I can't run you over. Where was the last coin? Where was the last coin? But here's the thing, about Ocarina of Time, though, because I still do love that game. It's still a great game, and even though I don't think it's necessarily better than a fair amount of other Zelda games, I talked about my Ocarina of Time playthrough on the channel. It's one of the Zelda games I'll recommend the most, mainly to first timers. Like that, and maybe Breath of the Wild are like the two I recommend. I mean, okay, maybe Link to the Past or something, you know, in the 2D sense. But generally, I would say Ocarina of Time, even though I wouldn't even put it in my top 5, it's one of the ones it's the one I recommend the most. And that is because it's simple to understand. And I mean that in a good way. Because in that game, you're just like, you know, you go around Kokiri Village a little bit, you go to the tree, you do the dungeon, you get to the first dungeon in that game so quick, and you just kind of get into the groove of what Ocarina of Time is. Relatively simple, in comparison to almost every other 3D Zelda. For Majora's Mask, you have to go through a whole 3-day cycle. Wind Waker, you have to go up to, like, the Forsaken Fortress, and even then, you're still pretty limited. Twilight Princess, you have a nice big opening sequence. And before you even get into a dungeon, you still have to do a whole, like, Twilight section with, you know, collecting the tears. Which isn't so bad in the HD version, but still, it's kind of a pain. It can be. Also, be careful, because in the ice levels, water is actually frozen, and you won't get health, but you'll drain health. Just a quick thing. Oh, so glad I learned that technique. And then Skyward Sword, actually, Skyward Sword isn't terribly bad with the opening part, but it still takes a fair amount of time. And that's why I also recommend Breath of the Wild, too, because even though it's, you know, Breath of the Wild is one of those games that's really hard at the start, because, you know, you can go anywhere, but you're kind of limited on your abilities and all that. Despite all that, it gets into the meat of the game really quick, because even though you only have the Great Plateau to start off with, you get a good idea of what the game is, for the most part. And you're not left, you know, just doing menial tasks, or any of that. It gives you a good idea of what the game is actually going to be like, for the most part, almost immediately. And that's why I would recommend it. Same with Ocarina, it gets into the meat of things really quickly, whereas the other games, they don't. Because it's not trying to be anything more than just like, you know, a fun typical adventure game with some good elements to it, a game like Ocarina. I think that really helps it, you know, ease people into the series, or ease people into the game. And that's why I would it's one of the Zelda games I recommend the most for people to start with.
Here we go!
So even though I don't necessarily think it's as good as other Zelda games, it's good in other ways that I think gives it its own benefits. And also, there's, you know, some people just preferring a simple game rather than something like, because, you know, there are people who like Ocarina, you know, more than Twilight Princess. I like Twilight Princess more just because I like what Twilight Princess has to offer and all that. But then, you know, some people are like, Twilight Princess is a little bit much on what it does, and Ocarina of Time is much better for that, you know, because it doesn't do so much, where some people think it may not be needed. And I think both are valid points. I think another case where that simplicity goes in is a recent example, Among Us. Because that's a game where, first off, I love Among Us. I played a lot of it. I think my Steam profile technically says I've done 20-ish hours. I'm pretty sure it was 30-ish hours. I don't know where the other 10 hours went. I know I spent a good couple of afternoons on it. It's a great game. But the thing is, I've heard some people are like, this is fine, but like, in terms of like these, you know, games where there's like a trader and all of that, there are better games. Like, you know, some people prefer Trouble in Terrorist Town and all of that. And that's legitimate because, you know, they are technically better games. But the benefit of Among Us being, you know, less deep, you know, it's a simpler game. And I think it benefits from that because, I mean, look how fucking big Among Us got. Trouble in Terrorist Town was already a pretty... Oh, there's another one? Trouble in Terrorist Town is already, you know, a pretty popular game mode with, like, Gmod and all that, but Among Us just, like, blew up. And I think a big part of that was just the simplicity of it. It's very easy to understand, go into, and play. Whereas other games that are in the same, you know, style as, like, you know, the trader kind of game, but are more complicated, but better, it's kind of harder for those to blow up because not as many people can get into them. And that's where I think the simplicity, even though the game isn't necessarily... There we go. I wasn't tipping over for some reason. The snowman wasn't tipping over when I was running around him. That's weird. Oh no, I just wanted to kick him. It's kind of a weird point to make, too, because it's like, the game is better because, I mean, the game kind of works... Oh, son of a bitch. It's one of those weird points where it's like, the game works better because it's not better. And I think that's the beauty of simplicity, because it can attract more people. It's less alienating, and you know, it's still good to have the quality options for the people who actually, you know, are willing to put in the effort. Oh no. Oh, I thought this hurt you. Okay, good for me. And I'll give one more example of that kind of thing. TF2. I'm not saying TF2 is simple. I'm actually arguing against TF2 here. Because as much as I love that game, like, it's one of my favorite games ever. You know, despite all the no updates and, you know. 3 years. 3 years since a major update. Fun. You have 3 coins, don't you? I'm not gonna be able to get those coins, am I? Yes! Good! Wind! Yeah! Just regular wind there for some reason. Alright. But I love TF2, but the problem is, it's hard to get people into, because it's got some pretty deep mechanics, and there's a lot to learn about the game. I think if you're willing to put in the time for that kind of game, you know, it can be a very rewarding and, you know, deep experience. You can get a lot out of it. But, and especially helps because it's free, and gameplay-wise, I think TF2 is a fantastic example of a game. Gameplay-wise, not the crate and cosmetic bullshit, you know. Never cared too much for that, especially when they started tiering crates. Disgusting. It's good to carry over some aspects from CS:GO, not that. Not the predatory shit. And, yeah, you know, because it is complicated, but it's also free. But even just because it's free doesn't mean people are going to want to be able to put the time into it, you know? And then, meanwhile... Oh, camera. Oh, please. I want to face the snowman head. And then meanwhile, although I'm not really I haven't been keeping up with it, it's been a while since I've even played it, but take a game like Overwatch. And I'm not necessarily, you know, regardless of the conversation around it, let's just talk about it, you know, design-wise. Because that, you know, it got big for a while. I don't know how big it is anymore. Kind of fell out of the loop with that game. Not even because of the shit that happened with it. I just, after TF2 got Jungle Inferno, I'm like, yeah, nope, this hits my itch. I'm good. I just kind of started losing interest in Overwatch because, well, actually, no, I'll talk about that in a second, because that kind of relates to the simplicity thing. I think Overwatch is easier to recommend to people just because it's a simpler game. There's more characters, sure, but what those characters have is what they have. There's less, because, you know, whereas there are 9 classes in TF2 with a bunch of different weapons and playstyles and all that, there's only, each character in Overwatch only has one specific playstyle. You only have to worry about that when you play as them. Oh hell. Oh hell. You know, regardless of, you know, Battle Mercies. You know, that doesn't count. I was a good support class. I was a good support healer. Don't worry. I didn't get trigger happy when I was Mercy. What? And even now, I would still, well, I mean, regardless of, you know, if I was just talking about, you know, outside of other things, just like as a game, I would probably still recommend Overwatch to people more, just because it's easier to get into. There's less I have to like be like, there's less catch to it, you know. It's just like you can play the game, you can learn, you don't even have to learn all the characters, you can just learn your character and you can still play decently. I feel like that's harder to do with TF2. Plus, you know, it's only 6v6 at most. Oh, that coin's really gotta go up there. And I think that was a big part of why, you know, it blew up as big as it did back in 2016. It was easy for people to understand. But it was still very good, very well made. But it does feel like a game like TF2, despite being harder to learn, has lasted a lot longer than that game. It kind of feels like Overwatch really fell off, whereas TF2 I still feel like is... Maybe just because I've surrounded myself with a bunch of TF2 back in the day, and it still kind of lingers. It still feels like TF2 has a lot to offer. Or it's, you know, the community is still pretty strong. Whereas I don't see that as much with Overwatch. And a lot of people that I used to watch for Overwatch stuff just doesn't do it anymore. And that's because, well, when something's simple, you can get tired of it. You know, when Jungle Inferno came out for TF2, it was like, oh, well, this is good again. And I felt less compelled to play Overwatch. Less because it had gotten worse, and just because I felt like it had gotten stale. There was not so much I wanted to do with it anymore that I felt like couldn't be satisfied by TF2, and that could even have a game like TF2 could just give me even more. And you know, has it been 2 years? No, I guess about 3 years later. And after Jungle Inferno came out, I played like a handful of times of Overwatch in that same year where it came out. And ever since then, I just haven't touched it. Granted, some of that's because I haven't installed Battle.net on my new computer, and I don't want to reinstall the game. For numerous reasons. But also just because, as a game, I just don't really feel like it. Plus, kind of going back to that Breath of the Wild thing of, you know, replay. Part of the magic of that game was just kind of learning it for the first time and, you know, getting that experience that everyone else was getting. And that's something that I'm never really going to hit again with that game. So it's like, why would I keep trying to chase a high like that with the same game, whereas I can just play a game I enjoy more, generally. I feel like this discussion was a bit of a mess for me. But I hope I got some of my points across fairly well. Enough, you know. I think simplicity can be good in the right circumstances. I think lasting power and replayability should also be taken into consideration when thinking about games, as well as stuff like, you know, a game as it is in the moment, as it was when it released, you know, with, I think hindsight, you know, looking at a game with hindsight. Why am I going down here? There's a lot of aspects when looking into games, and I feel like a lot of people don't take all of them into consideration. I don't know. You don't have what I need. I think you do. There we go.
Here we go!
Huh. 88 stars. That number just kind of hit me, didn't it? I guess I should play a little more. I'll do Wet Dry World. Oh, thank goodness, it's not Dire Dire Doc's music. I still have that in time music loaded up just in case I need to replace it. I'm still in the mindset of collecting coins, even though I know I don't need to. Oh yeah, we're doing the arrow lifts first. Okay. What the hell happened there? I hit... What did I hit there? Weird. Oh, okay, there's another platform. I see. No, you can't angle it that way. You have to see it from the angle you want, but from another angle. You can't move the camera to the right to do that. You have to move it all the other way to the left. Thanks, 64. And you know, looking at games as they were, as they are, and all that, that's its own thing. But then, you know, there are also things that, you know, not so much games themselves, but actual full-on mechanics that can be outdated. I was watching a stream, motherfucker. I was watching another stream, and someone in the chat room, or someone in the chat was like, or I guess a number of people were like, I guess because we were, how many times is this gonna happen? How many times? If it happens one more time, it'll set the world aflame like my ass is. And a number of people in the chat brought up, because I think the live systems in video games got brought up, and a number of people in the chat were like, live systems are outdated, and there's like, they're just an archaic thing that should just be like wiped from video games as a whole. And I fully agree with that. I think the problem is live systems got too abundant in video games. Not that they, you know, I think a number of games just ended up using live systems when they didn't need it, rather than live systems themselves being like an old thing. Because, you know, live systems were just kind of a top of the town. Which one was that? Live systems were mainly a thing that were brought into like arcade games so you know, you can spend more quarters and all that. And then they were, when, you know, home consoles was trying to be made, they're like, okay, well, let's keep a live system. Why not? Because, you know, we need to add some sort of way to limit people from beating these games so fast so that, you know, people are satisfied with a short game because it'll take forever to beat it because it's hard. Because we're giving artificial difficulty from lives. And when people do that now, I feel like that's not necessarily a great thing. Like, if you're making a game hard just because you only have a certain number of tries to do it, I think that's bad design. I don't like that. Okay. So, like, for example, a game like the original Ninja Gaiden. I don't think that's a game that needs a live system. A lot of games back in the NES didn't really need live systems, I don't think. And if they were made now, they probably either would because it would be quote-unquote retro, or they wouldn't? I completely forgot what I just said. Secrets in the Shadows and Sky. What are you talking about? Oh, hey there. How you doing? Look me in the eye. Why are you sad? Not that you don't need not that you need a reason to be sad, but why must you look like this? Who hurt you? Tell me. They were like this in Sunshine too. What are Skittlebug? I don't know what they're called. Oh well, put him out of his misery. Sorry, buddy. So generally, I think, you know, for games like that, I really don't think a live system should be necessary, because it's like, you're not doing anything other than making the game harder because you have to keep replaying certain bits that you already did. And I don't think that's necessary. I don't think having to replay bits you already did is, you know, because you have a game like Super Meat Boy where it's all about retrying and retrying until you get it. But that game doesn't have a life system. Like, that's, you know, the point of the game. Whereas a game like Ninja Gaiden, it's a platformer. It's not like, you know... Why was that a secret? It's a box! You know, I guess what I'm trying to say with a game like Ninja Gaiden was, it kind of feels like the only point of having lives in that game was just to prevent people from beating it quick, and, you know, encouraging more people to buy it rather than rent it so they could actually beat the game. You know, that kind of old video game stuff. And, you know, lives more or less carried over for games after that, just as sort of like an obligatory thing. Not that they're a frustrating mechanic, but just they're sort of a needless mechanic. Take this game, for example. Why are there lives in this game? There's literally no point to them. Because, okay, what does dying do in this game? It sends you out of the level, so you have to go back in and restart the whole thing. Okay, so, you know, fair, you'd have to restart the level. What does getting a game over do? It sends you back to the title screen. So you just have to go back, you know, you have to select your file again, and then you just have to go back to the world you're at. All getting a game over does in this game is set you back like a minute or two, no matter what. There's no reason for it other than just to have a live system for the sake of having a live system. There's no point in having lives. It doesn't make things harder or anything. It's just a slight inconvenience. And a way to lower your morale. Yes. Like, yeah. And, you know, I think lives can be used, like, they're not necessarily just a pointless or frustrating mechanic. I think they can be used well enough. Like, say, a roguelike game, where you only have a certain amount of lives, and then you can kind of balance things, or balance the difficulty around actually having lives. Because with a roguelike game, you know, it kind of sucks dying in one, but if you have a live, you can still kind of keep going with that, or you can plan out your run to go with certain lives and all of that. I think there's some, you know, valid reason for having it at that point. Or having it so that, you know, collecting lives... It's kind of a shame, because I feel like games like the Crash games are decent with lives, because they give you enough lives, especially for how hard the games can get. But also, it's like, you know, in order to get box gems, you can't die. You have to get all the boxes in level, and generally when you do that, you can't die. So if you're going for that, so I feel like casually it's probably fine, but then, you know, going for 100%, it's like the lives don't even matter, because you're gonna have to redo the whole level anyway if you die. Other than casually, I think it's kind of well balanced enough, you know. I feel like lives are spaced out well enough in that game to where... Or I guess I'm thinking specifically Crash 3. Lives are spaced out specifically where you get enough of them, but you're also losing a fair amount of them. And Mario 64 is kind of like that too, but the problem is, again, there's no reason to have lives. I guess if you make... Well, I guess there's not really any point in having them, like, Crash 3 Warped either. I think... Oh, fucking hell. Oh. Actually, I needed that a little more, didn't I? I think what makes getting lives in a game like Crash 3 Warped being better than, like, 64 is, one, they don't feel, like, offensive because you collect a number of them, and also, I think if collecting them is fun enough, it's like, whatever. That was one. Ah, I see. Boy, I would sure like to turn the camera like this. Oh, now it works! Yes, make me eat my words, 64. You lovely game, you. Why did that break the box? I wall jumped up! And yeah, I would say that would be another good example of live systems where you actually make collecting lives fun and then part of the balance of the game. So the game is a little more hard, but if you can collect lives along the way, or the methods of, you know, gaining lives is still fun and like well thought out, so that you're getting enough lives so that, oh, for fuck's sake, just launch me up there. If the process of collecting lives goes well with the, you know, the general progression of the game, and I think I can help, because like you can, with that you can probably make a game harder than it normally could have been. Because maybe you don't want to put, because, you know, you could always just put checkpoints, but maybe you don't want the game to have checkpoints. Maybe you want it, or, you know, full checkpoints where you always respawn from them. Maybe you want it to be limited to an extent, depending on, you know. It can be tricky to do, and I'm not saying it should always be done this way, but I'm just trying to say that, you know, what I'm saying is that I don't think that live systems are inherently a bad decision, or like a bad game design thing. Although I do think, considering where they came from, you know, how they were basically just there to make you... Oh, do not sight down this, just... I don't even know where the last secret is, actually. Yeah, I can raise it up, at least, to figure it out. I don't think having a live system is necessarily or inherently bad game design. It's just where it came from was kind of, you know, centered around, you know, making money. And it kind of carried over from that to the point where it was like, oh, this is just how games are. But it's like, for the most part, how they're used now, or how they were used in, like, since N64, even to an extent, hell, SNES, and that kind of stuff. More so N64, but it was kind of starting to lose steam by... Honestly, it wasn't even that good in NES. Yeah. Oh, damn it. Please tell me this is the last secret. What the hell is this thing? Oh, I think I know where. I think most uses of live systems, because they were so common, most of them are either harmful to a game or just straight up pointless. Like, there's no reason to have a live system in Mario 64. Or Sunshine. Don't tell me it's breaking this. No. Okay. Again, I don't really think I'm the best at, like, describing, you know, full thoughts I have on this kind of stuff, but, you know, hopefully I can give a general sense of what I feel about stuff like that. Oh, where's this last thing? It's gotta be, like, topside, right? You, fling me. Come on, keep going. Alright. I thought this would go a lot faster. So I might actually stop after this star. Because these bitches take forever to wind up. And then they miss. Love these things. Love, you know. I like this level a lot. But this part fucking sucks. Where's this last secret? No, it's not. It's not this, right? It has nothing to do with this. It's this box, isn't it? Fuck you! Fuck you, game. I should collect 100 coins. Should. The problem is, if I do, I won't be able to collect the star, because I'll have to go in there. That was supposed to be a long jump. I like how that both hit me and then... I like how I both took fall damage from that, but I ended up in swimming. Okay, game. Wait a minute. How many coins do I get from this? But yeah, let's go for 100 coin. Tell you what, if I can get 100 coin in this mission, and I can, yeah, I think I can do this. If I can get the 100 coin for this star, and then still collect the star, the regular star, I'll finish this world. Hey, buddy, why don't you fuck off? Get away from me! They're really fun enemies, you know, where they fling you up, and then they deal a quarter of your health, and then... You know, they're the only way to get up on certain platforms, and then sometimes, you know, the end lag of their attacks will cause you to just get launched into another one, and you can't do anything about it. But you have to end up going through it because that's the only way you can get up those platforms. Unless you like, I don't know, unless you're like a speedrunner and know all the tricks. I don't. Casually, that's what you're supposed to do, and that's fucking lame. Oh, well, I guess we'll finish this world, why not? The rest of it's short, now that we've done most of this, because there's like... I forget which star we're on for here. But we're about done, like, what? There's 2 here? Yeah, there's this one, there's one there. Yeah, we got this. See, now this is where I'm dumb, because I should not... Oh, I guess I can do that. I mean, that helps a little. Yep. Oh, do not light me on fire. If I end up dying before I actually collect this star, I'm going to be livid. I think I can collect it. Oh, okay, so you don't actually need the panel guys. Thankfully. Still, though. That's probably the legit way they wanted you to actually get up those platforms, and that's lame. And then I can just collect this star while it's underwater. We call that amphibious gameplay.
Here we go!
Alright. This one's quick. Yeah, the rest of these should be just like, you know, 10 minutes at most for all of them. So that means I got 10 minutes to talk, huh? Alright. Well, I'll bring back a popular topic. Let me talk about food. Oh wait, I need to... Oh. I can't actually go through this until I... Great. Gotta do it again. Alright. Well, I'll talk about food. Because I've been having... I'm gonna have a snack discussion. Now, I think I mentioned sometime earlier in the stream where I was like, hey, spicy, sweet, chili Doritos are like S-tier snacks for me. I don't know if I would say that anymore. I don't know, because last time, maybe just because I had a whole bag of them, and that was like my only snack that was like the only thing I had to snack on for like a week. You know, a good one to have, but like, I got a little tired of it. Still really good. Definitely get it again, but it's like, eh. But then meanwhile, recently, I've been having with chili flavor, chili cheese Fritos, and I'm like, you know, it kind of happened with the Doritos. I wonder if, you know, I'll get sick of these as quick. No, I haven't. Now those, the Fritos, those are S tier snacks. That's the good shit. Oh, if I don't make this next jump, I die. I can do it. I certainly can. But yeah, those are definitely still S tier. Like true S tier. Like I don't have any quarrels with them. I can eat them anytime. But remember, it's important. Remember, snacks should be snacks. You shouldn't substitute for actual, you know, food. Eat properly. That's what I'm saying, y'all. It's important to be healthy. Remember, I always try to wall jump up this, and like, I can get up there. I don't need to move. That's because that's what I need to do, right? So like, I learned how brutal wall jumping in this game actually was back then. And it turns out you couldn't even do that because you had to move the platform. That made little me upset. Oh, he's walking. He's walking! Yo, he knows how to move. Life of the party. Just grab onto the ledge, Mario. It's all. I'm begging you, please. That's so hard. Alright. The box is destroyed. Now I can just do regular stuff. 10 minutes, I said. I just remembered something about the music. But I'll talk about it again once we can actually hear it. Okay, can't hear it yet, but once the beat starts going. Town, okay. It'll start up. Just give it a minute. Just listen to the sweet dulcet sounds of Wet Dry World. There it is. Ding, 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 ding. I don't know what you would call it. Maybe I don't know what specific instrument that is, but you know, the ding ding ding. It always reminded me of that damn one SpongeBob episode. I think it was Jellyfish Jam. Maybe that was the song that played. You know, where the one where SpongeBob invites a jellyfish to his house and they start partying. And the episode ends with like a weird musical number he has to lead him out of his house. It's great. Love that episode. And I cannot you know the sound that starts the song off where like Gary's like clacking his eyes with each other to make like that clinking sound. That's what that, you know, that dun 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 dun. It's, I've always associated those with each other because it sounds so damn similar and I can't get it out of my head. So whenever I play this level and I hear the song, I always think of that SpongeBob episode. Which, granted, in terms of like SpongeBob episodes to always think about, that's a pretty good one. It's a classic. Oh. Pain! You know, when you're actually thinking about this level, it's not that bad. It's like, oh, okay, I just need to raise the water level. But when you're not thinking about it, when you're just trying to go on autopilot, for some reason it becomes way trickier than it ever should be. Because all I need to do is raise the water level. Hell, I could have started this in a fucking mission where the water level was already raised. I know I can do that. And yet I decided not to. What I need to do is I need to raise the water level to a high point. And then I can get myself shot. Actually, I think if it goes high enough, I can just swim into there. I need to get into that metal grate, because that's where the next part of the level is. Yeah, okay. I think I need to shoot myself out of a cannon. Die a violent death. That's what I need to do. Have I even talked to the pink bomb on? No. But he's right over there. Can't be that hard, right? How the hell am I even supposed to... No, I can make this. I can make this. I'm not actually sure how we're supposed to reach him normally, but I know I can make this with just regular movement. And maybe some box switches or something. Gotcha. I love doing that. I love like wall jumping like right below a ledge because I can't actually grab it. And then getting just enough height so I can actually grab the ledge. I love that so much. It gives me the adrenaline I need. Prepare the cannon. Prepare the cannon. Gentlemen, we wait for the clock. 4:18 on the dot. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire! Jolly good. Successful shot, jolly good, fellows. Well done, lads. Well, off to go smoke my pipe. And stare at the sea for an uncomfortable amount of hours. Oh wait, we're doing red coins? Ah, that's the first one. Ugh. Why did I think this would be a short... I guess it should be a short level, I'm just making it long. The switch should be around here somewhere. Ground level, maybe? I don't think I need metal mark. Oh, I know where it is. It should be like near some bushes or something. If Mario drowns, he drowns. This is how it's gonna be. I thought you were there. Where's this thing? There it is. I guess the weird thing about playing this game this way is just, it's weird playing this game with a good controller because I feel like I can do more than I can. Maybe that's what's causing me to die so much. Yes. I can blame it on the controller. Of course. Why didn't I ever think of that before? I don't like blaming things on controllers. I still do it, because sometimes, yeah. But, please just grab the pole. Usually though, if it's like a controller issue, it's just because my fingers were like twisted and they got all confused and all that. You know how it is, right? Because, like, sometimes when you're like, oh, I jumped. Sometimes it might feel like that. Sometimes maybe you actually did jump. And the game just had, like, a frame or two of lag. But okay, I guess that one-up just disappeared. But then, like, sometimes you really did just press the button too early, or too late. Yeah, too late. That would be the case. What? Where? Guess I'll do that again. Why are these boxes even here? What? What's going on? Where am I? What is this doing? I'm so confused. What's the switch for? I think the red coins are in the boxes. Maybe it turned on the boxes? I don't know. I'm confused. I'm scared. I'm cold and wet dry world because it's not dry, it's wet. It is late October and it is wet because it keeps fucking raining here. Oh, I just wanted to hit it. I just wanted to hit the box. Just make me spend more time on it, please. Just because of your slippery ass control. There are ways around it. You just have to know them. Which I do, but I forget about them because I'm dumb. Ah. There's not actually a red coin there, right? Yes, there is. I remember that being... Was that always in the air? I've got 6. Where are the other 2? I think I found one. Found the other one. They're all in the cheese crates. Are they cheese or are they cork? I think I've mentioned this before. I think they're made of cheese cork. Cork with some cheese embedded in them. Why not? I've just leaked the next Cheez-It flavor. Cork. Feels like cork, tastes like cheese. I don't even know why they would bother with new flavors like that. I mean, it's like nothing's going to top white cheddar. I mean, I'd be curious. I'm sure it would boost sales. Cheese-flavored cork? Hell yes. Give me. It's the closest I'll ever get to eating drywall. Pretty sure I made a drywall joke the last time I mentioned the cork, too. Quick race. It fucking better be. When the drywall comments start coming out, it's time to stop. So we have to go back to the town that was in there. Go ahead and get the last star. This one's quick. For sure. Oh yeah, if you step on these, the platforms move. You don't need to do them, you can just long jump. And then get caught on fire and then, you know. You can do that like 3 times in a row. There's no harm in doing that. It'll get you where you're going. I know how I can do this. Good long jump. That's not me blaming the game though. I just need to press the buttons in a better way. There we go. I can't shoot through those, but am I actually sure that's lined up in a way where I can get in the grate? Maybe it is. My way's safer. My way. I'm right. It is weird. It is weird thinking that these bubble JPEGs that they're using are actually probably the same damn JPEGs they used for the Mario Sunshine water effect from Flood. It's just looking at him now, it's just like... Probably easier to look at him now since it's like actually, you know, textures are mostly up-res for this version. But like, thinking about it back then, it's like, damn. They knew some stuff. But I mean, hey, as long as, you know, that's the kind of thing where it's like, you can do something that's, it's like, if you know it's obvious, but if, you know, as long as it can trick the majority of people, you're good. Like, if something is actually, like, malformed and misshaped, but if that's not how the viewer is seeing it, if they're just, or the player is seeing it, if they're just seeing it as, like, a normal thing, then it's fine. That's how a lot of people make Source Filmmaker posters. They'll, like, deform and warp the model of a character in such a way. Why can you go through these walls? Why can you go through these walls? There's no... What indication is there you can go through these walls? Why can you go through these walls? What sense does it make? I don't understand what the implications of that are. And you can go through this gate too, I guess. I guess that kind of makes sense because it's holes, but why the fence? Because it's like granite? Because it's like... No, they're bricks. They're bricks. That doesn't even make sense. Like if it was made of like... If it was like a wall of sedimentary rock, maybe, but like it's bricks. Why can't I go through it? Never made sense to me. Going back, yeah, but like most, you know, a lot of Source Filmmaker posters, they'll like stretch the limbs in very weird ways to make it so that the camera, where the poster is actually, you know, showing, it actually like looks, you know, properly proportioned or stylized in that way. It's weird, but it works. I would know. I've done it once or twice, so you know. It's very weird to do, but you know, it works. It actually works. And then you know you can just shoot out a dozen or so bubble JPEGs to simulate a water gun effect. Well, that's gonna be it. We're getting close to finishing this game. I think we have, let's see, we have Tiny Huge Island, we have Rainbow Cruise, we have okay, so we have 3 regular worlds left, and then a couple secret shines. Stars! Stars. So, I don't think we'll do this in 1 more stream. I'll give it 2 more streams. I think we can do this by the end, we can probably wrap this up by Wednesday. Good. So I think that's pretty much gonna be it for now. I'll think about streaming Crown Tundra soon. I'll probably do that in the afternoon. I'll either do that after 64 to take a slight Mario break, since I don't anticipate Crown Tundra taking me like more than 5 streams at the most. If not, I'll probably just have that be in the evening while Galaxy starts. But, you know, we'll see when we get there. I'm not gonna be streaming later today, so you can expect me next at my regular time tomorrow. And with that,
I'm tired.
so am I, Mario. Even though I woke up. No, actually, I woke up early. Early, like 11:45 is early. That's gonna be it for me. If you need to know when I stream next, it's usually around 12 to 1:30. And if you need any sort of notification on that, you can always follow the stream and get Twitch notifications, or my Twitter and Tumblr, where I post every time I stream, as long as I don't forget, which has happened once or twice. If you need to watch any previous stream I've done, we have Zeter Streams 966 mod on YouTube, which has every previous stream I've done. And any other links you may need are also on the Twitch channel. With that being said, that's going to be it for me today. Thank you all for watching, and have a great day, and I hope I'll see y'all tomorrow. I'll better hope the rest of this goes as peacefully as Mario is right now. Or we're all in trouble. Sleep tight, Mario. You're gonna need that energy.